What is going on, everybody? I am back today to talk to you about a movie that I watched on Shudder that I had no idea what it was. I just clicked on it because I thought the poster looked really interesting, read the brief little plot description, and read some comments saying that this was just absolutely bizarre, wild, and an experience that you just had to have, which made me very, very excited to watch this. And the film I'm going to be telling you about today is Let the Corpses Tan. Let the Corpses Tan is directed by Hélène Cattet and Bruno Forzani. With a heavy haul of 250 kilograms of gold bullion, the grizzled criminal mastermind Rhino and his ruthless gang of cutthroats head to a ramshackle retreat somewhere in the Mediterranean to lay low on a scorching day of July. However, the unexpected and rather unwelcome arrival of the Bohemian writer Bernier, his muse Luce, along with a pair of no-joke gendarmes further complicates things as the frail allegiances will soon be put to the test. So, I had no idea what to expect with this movie, and I don't even think if you would have told me what was going to happen in this movie that I ever would have believed you. This movie is a trip, and I mean it feels like you are tripping on acid or something. It is one of the most wild experiences that I have had watching a movie in quite some time, and I really liked it a lot. I'm really looking forward to watching more from these filmmakers because this is wildly inventive. It pretty much strips any conventional norms to narrative filmmaking that you could possibly imagine, and it is completely and wholly unique. And I always respect directors that can take that approach and really look at filmmaking from a non-conventional way, where you're telling a story that's so much less about structuring this narrative in a way that you're told each and every bit of information. It's much more about invoking a feeling. I feel like this movie makes you feel a lot of things incredibly deeply and in a way that's visceral emotionally, where it doesn't take a lot of dialogue for those emotions to hit you because of how powerful the imagery that you're seeing on screen is. And I'm excited to tell you about it today. So the plot description explained this movie way better than I ever could, because you are not given virtually any detail in this movie. You are jumped right into it. You see this group of people living together on this coastline. This group goes and commits a heist. They rob all this gold, kill all these police officers, and retreat back. And we're introduced to all of these different characters until eventually the police come snooping around onto their property. They have to fight for survival, and it's the people seeing whether or not they can trust one another and can they believe the people who they are surrounded by. I thought this movie was absolutely insane, and I have to start off by talking about the visuals. This movie has some of the most strikingly beautiful visual imagery that I've seen in quite some time. It also has some really surreal, sort of disgusting imagery that's in this movie that just really kind of took me by surprise. It's a very sweaty film. It is a film filled with a lot of nudity, a lot of egregious violence, and it's meant to convey a feeling. I feel like this is taking a film that you've seen before, like a heist movie or criminals on the run, and instead of like having a lot of expositional dialogue and a ton of narrative to sort of explain everything to you, it's putting you in that moment and wants you to feel the elements of that movie, that type of movie, in a more extreme way that will just unsettle you and that won't leave your mind for quite some time. There's some truly like overtly sexual imagery in this as well. And I thought that it was really fascinating the way that it was incorporated into the movie in parallels to the violent imagery in the movie. And I think like utilizing two forces that are extreme in the human experience, which is sexuality and violence, it helps to convey that really intense emotional response for you as a viewer. There's also really incredible use of shadow in this movie. There's a certain set of scenes that you'll know as soon as you watch it where you can't even discern the characters' faces, and it just feels like a dream. And I say that in the most positive way imaginable. There are a lot of moments in this movie that just feel like you are experiencing a dream firsthand. And as I was watching it, I was just kind of blown away by what the director was able to pull off. And then just the way characters are positioned in in the frame. It was fascinating to watch. I can't even imagine how long it took to choreograph some of these scenes, especially like some of the shootout scenes. Just really incredible how they're put together. Like visually, there's no complaints that I have with this movie. I think it's incredibly stunning. I also loved the performances in this movie. I feel like because we're given so little detail, you need really incredible performances to sort of amp up your emotions towards these characters, because you don't learn a lot about them through exposition. And so it's all about how they're treated in specific scenes. And I just thought they all did a really phenomenal job in this movie. Like each and every actor and actress in this really was giving it their all, to where it felt like a really defined story, despite it being so abstract and surreal. Also, the sound design in this movie is absurd. There is a lot of leather in this movie, and you hear every like crinkle and swoosh of like leather against leather, to where at sometimes it feels like leather ASMR. Like it's really, the sound is sort of unsettling in this movie, but I think that that's another reason why it has such a distinct personality. So many movies now don't pay enough attention to detail and sound design, and I feel like the sound in this movie, accompanying the incredible score, really just creates a mood that you don't get from a lot of other films. Like it's just really impressive. You can tell that these directors and this creative team care so much about how the little things impact you, not just the narrative, but all the other things that go into creating a film, and how they can sort of round out to create an effective experience for you as a viewer overall. And that's the other thing I really loved about this movie, was the effectiveness of all of those little bits and pieces coming together to really create a resonant experience for you as the viewer. I just loved that about this movie quite a bit. And like I said, the movie is incredibly abstract. There's a lot of moments in it you're probably going to be like, what the hell is even going on? And I think that's the point. Like I said, this is much less about conveying a specific theme and more about like invoking a feeling, which I'm always really impressed when a director can just kind of approach something to really invoke a strong feeling. And I will say, if I have any issues with this movie, I feel like the tail end of it starts to feel a little stale in comparison to the remainder of the film. It started to lose me at about the three-quarter point, really kind of pulled me back in right at the very end. But I think like when your movie is so incredibly abstract, especially like there's some moments at like in the nighttime that it's harder to kind of discern character placement, and I feel like that kind of pulled me out of it just a little bit. But I'm still not going to take away from the really incredible overall experience that I had watching this movie. I think it's incredibly well put together. I think it's a surrealist nightmare, just really engaging and entertaining cinema that I would recommend to virtually everyone. So have you seen Let the Corpses Tan? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was fantastic. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to watch more from these directors. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material, and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.